Hello everyone, this is part 22 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more, comment down below. Now let Sasuke and Naruto rushed each other, each throwing a punch. They began to throw blows at each other, neither landing a hard blow on each other. Sasuke was relentless in his attack and after a few moments, landed a hard punch to Naruto's jaw. However, Naruto turned with the punch and kicked Sasuke in the chest, hard. Sasuke let out a painful grunt and backed up. This left him open for an attack by Sakura. Sasuke barely dodged Sakura's punches. They were crisp and he was nearly hit several times. He had to thank the fact that his Sharingan was activated. He dodged another punch and retaliated with a knee to her gut, followed by a shoulder throw. This did leave him open for Naruto to kick him in the back. Hinata rushed in to hit Sasuke with 3 Juken strikes. Sasuke hissed in pain before quickly countering with a fast spinning hook kick, connecting with Hinata's jaw. Enraged, Naruto pushed his attack, nailing Sasuke with 2 punches. Sasuke backed up and Naruto slipped into a stance that Anko showed him. Sasuke growled as he charged forward, throwing a kick. Naruto danced around it and struck one of the nerves in his leg. Sasuke ignored the pain and continued his assault. Naruto danced around his attacks and lashed out with strikes, like a snake. Hitting the nerve slowed Sasuke down enough for Hinata to rush in and strike him again. It spun him around only to meet a punch from Sakura that sent Sasuke flying across the field, bouncing twice. Sasuke struggled to get to his feet. He could feel his right cheek begin to swell from Sakura's punch. His lip was split but he ignored it and spat out a glob of blood. He got to his feet and glared at the 3 in front of him. His focus was on Naruto. "You weakling," Sasuke spat. "You couldn't face me one-on-one and those 2 weaklings are the only reason I'm like this. You're a disgrace as a shinobi. Please, we both know I would have laid a beating on you," Naruto stated with a serious tone. "However, you're coming at me with the intent to cause me serious harm. Plus, you posse's the Sharingan. I might be a badass but I ain't stupid. Now, are you going to come quietly or is this going to get more violent? Choose wisely." "I chose violence," Sasuke roared and quickly did some hand seals. Kaiten, Hosenka no Jutsu. Fire release. Sage Phoenix fire technique. He fired several balls of fire at the group. Naruto did hand seals of his own, taking a deep breath. Suten, Suijinheki. Water release. Water wall. Naruto spat out a large volume of water that circled the 3 and rose to protect them. The fireballs were taken out by the water. The chakra and power Naruto used also stopped the hidden shuriken. Sasuke reappeared behind the group, lightning covering his hand. The noise alerted the blonde but he wouldn't be able to defend himself in time. Hakukusho. 8 trigrams vacuum palm. Hinata shouted and threw a hard, fast palm strike at Sasuke. Sasuke was hit hard and was in pain, gagging up bile and blood. Sakura let out a roar as she threw an uppercut at the stunned Sasuke. It connected and launched Sasuke into the air. Sasuke could feel the contents of his stomach coming up. Naruto decided to end this. Sene Jashu. Hidden shadow snake hands. Several snakes shot forward and ensnared Sasuke. Naruto pulled hard and slammed Sasuke to the ground, face first. Sasuke groaned before puking up the contents of his stomach. Sasuke attempted to stand but he dropped to the ground, out cold. The 3 genin were still on alert as they moved to check on him. Sakura checked him, finding a pulse. "He's out cold," Sakura said with a sigh. "Well, I'm going to keep him restrained. Let's get him to the hospital and get word to Tsunade Granny. She not going to be too happy with him," Naruto said. The snakes tightened around Sasuke as the 3 made their way to the hospital. Tsunade walked through the halls with purpose. She was flanked by 2 Anbu as she entered the prisoner wing of the hospital. She was just about to finish her paperwork for the day when a Chunin came to her to let her know that Sasuke Uchiha was in the hospital as well as being put in the prisoner section. When she asked why, she was told that Chunin Uzumaki would explain in person. Tsunade made her way to the hospital and found Naruto with Hinata and Sakura. She demanded an explanation. This only furthered to annoy her as the 3 explained what happened minutes ago. She ordered that the 3 be checked out and she made her way to the prisoner wing of the hospital. She entered the section and made her way toward the room where Sasuke was being held. She easily found it as she could hear the kid shouting to be released. 2 Anbu stood at the door. "So, How long has he been awake? Tsunade asked. 5 minutes ago. He has been demanding his release since then. A female Anbu answered. Is that so? She said seriously. Tsunade entered the room to see Sasuke struggling against his bonds. Upon seeing her, he was about to order her to release him. He never even got a word out as Tsunade was quickly near him and struck him in the throat. Sasuke gasped and gagged for a bit before glaring at her. He was about to spew some hateful words but couldn't find his voice. Can't speak. Good. I didn't want to be interrupted. Don't worry, you'll get your voice back in a few minutes. What I have to do will not take long. So, you think that just because you carry the Uchiha name that you can act without consequence? Well, that's about to end. After I confirm Naruto's, Hinata's and Sakura's reports, your days as a ninja of this village is over. I'm going to strip you of your Hittite forehead protector, and I'm going to strip you of your freedom. You aren't going to attempt to kill one of my shinobi and walk away free. Also, I'm going to take away your Sharingan and your Tenno-Ju and cursed seal of heaven. Maybe that will help in reforming your ass. Tsunade explained before turning around and leaving the room. Sasuke was shouting his head off but no sound could be heard, at least for another couple of minutes. Naruto walked out of the hospital flanked by Hinata and Sakura. Well, this has been an exciting day. I blame you, as always. Sakura said. How is this my fault? Naruto asked. You always attract trouble. I would say it is because of Anko but she only terrorizes poor Iruka-sensei. Sakura informed him. You're saying Anko is much tamer than me. Anko Mitarashi is tamer than me. Anko, who wants the national food of Konoha to be dango. Anko, who shamelessly molests a grown man by groping him and chasing him around the village. This is your benchmark? Naruto asked seriously. Sakura opened her mouth to answer but she couldn't refute anything he said. It also didn't help that they had a small audience watching the interaction. Sakura just huffed and walked away, ignoring the chuckles of the audience and the crackling of Naruto. Naruto decided to walk Hinata home. Sorry that you didn't get to speak with your friend. Hinata said. It's fine. I've got time. I just really had a good sales pitch for the boss. There was no way he could have refused. Naruto explained. Hinata looked at Naruto and narrowed her eyes a bit. It doesn't include robbing Tsunade-sama's sake's stash? Hinata asked accusingly. Naruto suddenly got nervous, confirming her suspicions. The heiress just sighed at her friend. Why you do realize she would have killed you if she ever found out. She would have to catch me first. The only ninja in this village who can claim fame to that is Iruka-sensei. Naruto muttered. So, how's your home life? I don't need to do anything to Neji, do I? No, you don't need to cut you up Neji. She said with a giggle. Life has improved. Father sees value in my development again. Myself and Hanabi are getting along, although she still thinks you're a bad influence. Why does she hate me? I didn't do anything to her. He said defensively. You did set Konohamaru on her. Oh come on, she's still angry about that. The prank was not that bad. You dumped tree sap on her. Then there is the fact that you got Konohamaru hurt. It was funny. Forgive me for having a sense of humor. Besides, Konohamaru will grow stronger from it. The two shared a laugh before changing the subject. It wouldn't be long before they were close to the Hyuga compound. Well, this is as far as I'm going. Hinata hit Naruto with frown that was more like a pout. You're being ridiculous. My father does not have it out for you. Hinata argued. I can feel eyes on me Hinata, from a distance. It's either one of your clan members, Neji or the destroyer himself. I remember the look he gave me after the invasion. It promises pain and suffering. Naruto argued back. My father has nothing against you. What would be his reason? Hinata asked with annoyance. Maybe it's a father thing. You see how Ano's dad acts sometimes. It's kinda weird that he does that with only boys but maybe that's a thing with dads. I trust my gut on this one. Naruto said with his stubborn tone. Hinata just sighed and knew that it was the end of things. That's when something happened that she did not expect. Naruto wrapped her up in a hug. Hinata was surprised by this and blushing at the contact. I'm glad that you're okay Hinata-chan and thanks for having my back today. Hinata relaxed a bit and her blush lessened. Anytime Naruto-kun, Hinata said. The two broke apart and smiled at each other. Naruto took off, jumping from roof to roof to get home while a still blushing Hinata watched. Unknown to either of them, they were being watched by a pair of Byakugan eyes. While he didn't have too much of an issue with the blonde, he was a bit too forward when he hugged his daughter. It seems that he would have to increase his intimidation of the boy. He would be meeting with Inoiki very soon for ideas. Sasuke laid in his bed, angry at everything that had happened. He would glare at the Anbu watching him as well as anyone who came in that room. He refused to have any of the nurses check on him, spitting at them or shouting at them if they got close. That bitch of a Hokage had returned a few hours ago to tell him that she was going through with her promise. He hadn't cared at all about it as he was officially done with the village. They were holding him back while others like Naruto and Shikamaru were getting strength that they didn't deserve. If she thought that he would take this lying down, she would be sadly mistaken. His thoughts were interrupted by a knock on the door. The Anbu opened the door to reveal his former masked sensei. The Anbu then stepped out of the room, leaving the two alone. What do you want, Kakashi? Sasuke growled. If you're here to lecture me, then you have wasted your time. I can see that now. I'm not here to lecture you, Sasuke, but I do have one question. Was it worth it? Kakashi asked. What are you talking about? Sasuke demanded. You were the village's golden boy. Praised by everyone for your exceptional skills, named Rookie of the Year, gained your Sharingan, personally trained by me, and despite all the advantages you gained, you resorted to a petty, one-sided rivalry with Naruto. You allowed Naruto's success and growth get to you to the point that you would use my own original jutsu to attempt to kill him and, probably, Hinata and Sakura. So I'll ask again, was it worth it, Sasuke? Kakashi asked again. You want to hear me say that I regret my actions? That I was wrong in what I did? Well, you've wasted your time. I don't care what you think about my actions, I don't regret them. What I do regret is trusting in you because I'm not as strong as I should be. You sucked as a sensei and did not give me the power I needed to kill Itachi. All your talks were just that, talk. You're a failure, Hitaki, and I want you to know that. Sasuke spat loudly. Disappointing. I guess, that's all I wanted to know. Kakashi started to leave but stopped to give Sasuke one more message. You know, for all your hate toward Itachi, you sure are following his path. Sasuke activated his Sharingan and glared at Kakashi with hatred. It did not affect Kakashi, who just watched out of the door. I will get out of here. My ambition will not be silenced by you, Naruto, or the bitch. I will get my revenge on all of you. I swear it. Sasuke shouted. Kakashi just kept walking. Chapter 44. Tsunade, the elders and the shinobi council looked at the boy before them. Said boy was giving them all a look of defiance. It was as if he felt that he was above their judgment. It was starting to piss the female Hokage off. So, are you going to defend yourself or just glare at us all day? Tsunade asked with a clipped tone. Sasuke remained quiet and said nothing. With an annoyed sigh, Tsunade had enough. Fine, you've made your choice. As of this moment, you are no longer a shinobi of Konohagakure. You will be stripped of your Hitayate, forehead protector, and be under house arrest. While I think you should be placed in a high-security prison, I was outvoted. Still, don't think that you'll have it easy. You will be watched by Anbu. They have orders to end your life should you do anything stupid. This made Sasuke growl at them, but none of the people in the room were concerned. Take this, disgrace, away. Don't forget to take that Hitayate off him. Tsunade said. The Anbu did as they were told and dragged Sasuke away after taking his Hitayate. Sasuke continued to glare at everyone in the room until he was dragged out of sight. Tsunade sighed and looked at the elders. I'm surprised that you did not help him. From what I know, you two were supporters of his. She said. We were never truly supporters. We only wished for his ability and bloodline to serve Konoha. Now we know that he was always a liability. It is a blessing that we caught it before he decided to leave. Koharu said. Still, do you think that only 4 Anbu will be enough to guard Sasuke? We do know just who has an interest in him. Inoiki stated. For now, they will have to do it. We are still recovering for the invasion. Either way, we are done here. Tsunade said. The council nodded and began to leave. Orochimaru sat down on his throne with little comfort. His arms were burning and it enraged him at how limp they felt. He cursed his sensei and hoped he was in eternal suffering within the Shinigami death god. However, he ignored the pain for now. Today was a good day for him because his old village had made things easy for him. He received a message about Sasuke's situation and it made him extremely happy. This action ended any loyalty for Konoha, Hidden Leaf. Now, all the boy wanted was revenge and it included Konoha. This was the perfect time to gain his prize. So he had his elite force kneeling in front of him. It seems that Sasuke needs our assistance. Go and retrieve him, would you? Orochimaru said. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, the four ninjas said before vanishing. Orochimaru could only smile. His objective was within his grasp. Naruto was making his way to his old training grounds. He had plans but someone needed him to be there. Curious, he decided to make his way there to find out what was going on. He arrived in minutes and saw someone there. Sakura, you wrote me that note? Naruto asked, jogging up to her. Note? I didn't write you a note. I thought you wrote me a note. Sakura answered. Naruto looked at her with confusion. Before he could say anything, a voice called out to them. I wrote the notes. The two turned to the voice to see Kakashi. The two frowned when they saw him. Kakashi expected as much. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep either of you for long. I have a mission to get to, but this is much more important. The two looked at each other before looking at the Jonin. Seeing that he had their attention, Kakashi took a deep breath before looking at them. I am sorry, he said, stunning the two. I was a bad sensei and an even worse comrade. I don't expect your forgiveness or that you will accept my apology, but I feel that you two deserve that at least. I believed that it was my mission to help Sasuke. Because of what he went through, I knew that revenge was on his mind. I wanted to show him that there was more to life than that. So, I focused all my attention on changing his mind. I also thought I was honoring my former teammate, Obito. However, that was just an excuse and you two paid for it. Kakashi took a breath before continuing. All I can say is that I'm sorry. Hopefully, with time, I will improve myself as a person, a ninja and a comrade. I make this vow to both of you that I will work on that. That's all I have to say, so I'll be going now. Kakashi turned and was about to leave when Sakura stopped him. You're right about not accepting your apology, but if you are being serious about this, then know that we'll be watching. We'll see if you're being honest or if you're just saying words. She said. Kakashi looked back to see her serious look and Naruto was nodding. With a nod of his own, Kakashi just vanished. This left the two alone who just looked at each other. Do you think that he will change? Naruto asked. Well, I believe in second chances. We'll just keep watch and see if it happens. Sakura said. Naruto just shrugged and began walking out with Sakura following him. Four figures watched the villagers of Konoha go along with their business. They stayed in the shadows and just waited for their contact. They arrived in the village 3 days ago and had to wait 4 more for Orochimaru's man inside. They, at first, thought it was a trap as it was way too easy to get in, but they had not been discovered since. So, they waited until they were contacted so that they could begin their mission. Their wait would soon be over as a black and white bird landed on the roof. It then merged into the ground and revealed a message. They read the message and began to smile. It seems that they wouldn't need to be in the village for long. They now just had to wait until nightfall, then they could make their move. Something was different. Sasuke realized this as he looked out of his prison. His guards would usually show themselves just so that he knew they were there. He had been trying to find an avenue of escape for a week now and he didn't see any way out of the village. However, his Anbu guards were not here and he didn't know why. That's when he felt someone enter his prison. He turned to see 4 people standing before him. The tallest one had 3 tufts of orange hair and slanted orange eyes. The one with 6 arms had dark skin, black shaggy hair that was tied and black eyes. The female had brown eyes and long pink hair. The final person had 2 heads that had dark blue hair, green lipstick and marking around the eyes. They all wore different colored tunics that were tied by a purple rope. What interested him the most were the Hittite that had a music symbol on the metal. It was the same symbol of those that attacked the village months ago. You're from Otokage, Hidden Sound. That means that you are under Orochimaru's command. Sasuke asked. You are right, Sasuke. Orochimaru-sama has sent us to free you from your captivity. I am Simon no Saken of the West Gate, the 2 headman said. I am Nanman no Jirobo of the South Gate, said the large man. I am Hokuman no Tayuya of the North Gate. The Kunoiki greeted. I am Toman no Kidomaru of the East Gate, the 6-armed man greeted. We are to escort you to Orochimaru-sama so that he can grant you the power that you seek. You have already been given a taste of that power. Saken said. Sasuke knew what he was talking about. He remembered the power he felt when he used the Ten-no-Juin cursed seal of heaven. It would help with his goals. Seeing that Konoha was hindering that, the choice was easy. Sasuke made a move toward his bed. He knelt down to the left side and removed the floorboards. Hidden was one of his pouches. He opened it to see several shuriken, kunai and ninja wire that he was able to gather away from his guards. He strapped it to his belt before facing the four. Let's go. The four bowed and led the former genin to his destiny. Naruto arrived at the tower with his full gear and Chunin vest. He was summoned by the Hokage and it seemed to be urgent. He made his way to her office when he ran into Shikamaru. You got summoned too. I just knew that today was going to be annoying. Shikamaru grumbled. The two arrived at the door and knocked. Soon it allowed them entry in the office. When they entered, they did not see a pleased woman sitting behind the desk. She looked at the two seriously. Last night, Sasuke Uchiha escaped from his house arrest. She stated. This surprised the two but they did not say anything. The Anbu guards that were supposed to relieve the other guards found the team of four dead. I am on my way to do the autopsy but we need to get a team together to go after Sasuke and whoever is helping him. I understand Hokage-sama. Seeing as we are dealing with probably a group of four and their strength, I would suggest a team of Jonin for this mission. Shikamaru said seriously. That isn't going to happen. All available Jonin are out on missions. So are all available Chunin. You two are the only Chunin I have that is available. Your mission is to gather a team and get after Sasuke. You are to capture and bring him back or you make sure that Orochimaru does not gain the Sharingan. You better hurry up. Sasuke has about 8 hours on you. Dismissed. Tsunade said. The two bowed and made their way out. This is really troublesome. So all we have are genin. Shikamaru muttered. As much as I would mock you right now, we don't have the time. What we need for this team are 2 trackers and some muscle. I have my choice of trackers. Naruto said. I know someone with some muscle. Get your guys and I'll get mine. We meet up at the gates in 30 minutes. Shikamaru said. Full load out Shikamaru. We need to be prepared for what we're about to face. Naruto warned. Shikamaru nodded and the two were off. 30 minutes later found the two standing in front of their chosen members. Naruto picked up Kiba and Akamaru first before finding Neji who was with Lee. Shikamaru instantly went for his teammate Choji. Now that they were gathered, Naruto got everyone's attention. Alright, listen up guys. We are on the clock. As of last night, Sasuke Uchiha left the village. We believe that he had help from ninja that answer to Orochimaru. We are going on the assumption that he willingly went with these guys. Our mission is to either capture Sasuke or make sure that Sasuke doesn't get to Orochimaru. Do you understand what that means? Naruto asked them. The 3 genin and 1 dog looked at Naruto with serious glances. Okay, let's get the formation down and let's get going. Shikamaru said. The group quickly explained what the formation was. After a minute explaining, the 5 shinobi and 1 dog rushed through the gates. They had a prisoner to retrieve. Tsunade looked at the bodies and narrowed her eyes. She was not pleased by what she saw. By just observing the body, she knew that whoever Orochimaru sent, did not kill these Anbu. Upon closer observation, she was able to find out one of the Anbu attacked the others. She found defensive wounds on one of the bodies. The one who attacked then killed himself with his blade. This only served to annoy her more. She knew these men and she knew that they would never attack each other. Someone or something must have caused this and the only reason that happened was to give whoever infiltrated easy access to Sasuke. She had a traitor within the village. She had to find out who it was or they could do even more damage to the village. Sasuke looked at the 4 ninja with untrusting eyes. They had made good time from the village but they decided to stop. That's when Saken told him that they needed to finish increasing the power of the Ten-no-Juin. They then unsealed a large barrel that had several seals around it. That's when Saken held out a black pill and explained what needed to happen in order for him to reach the next stage. It was the reason that Sasuke was so untrusting. So, this will kill me and only through death will I gain my new power? Sasuke asked. Yes, only through this method will you gain that power. Saken answered. Sasuke looked at the pill before swallowing. If he had to die to gain the power to gain his vengeance, then so be it. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.